Hi everyone, we're here today to talk to you a little bit about personalized medicine. My name's Jared, I'm a research associate at Bristol Squibb, and I work on the cell sciences team. So I grow cells in the lab all day, and we use those cells to make different reagents for other research teams in the company.
That sounds super exciting.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Wendy, and I'm on the business development team at Bristol Myers Squibb, and I look for external innovation to help augment all the cool new technology that BMS has.
That's awesome. I know nothing about that, so I'm glad that somebody's doing that.
I'm glad we have each other.
Exactly. So let's start off. Wendy, can you tell us a little bit about what personalized medicine is?
Yeah, absolutely. So personalized medicine is sometimes also called precision medicine. And it's the idea that all things related to medical decisions, including drugs and treatment plans, can be tailored to each and every single person.
Cool. And can you tell us why we should be interested in that?
Yeah, I sure can. So if you look at this picture here, we've got a little cartoon, and there are 4 different people here, and there's one pill for all of them. And when you think about people and their differences, that probably doesn't work with each separate person. So what we show in the bottom here is that actually if we look at the DNA of each person, we might figure out what will work best for them. So person on top, that pill might work. Second person maybe needs a little less, third person maybe a little more, and the last person might need something totally different. But the idea with personalized medicine is that with the right tools, scientists can figure out what's different about each of these people and actually target their specific disease. And then everyone can get as healthy as quickly as possible.
Awesome. That's the name of the game, right? We want everyone as healthy as they can, as quickly as they can be.
Definitely.
Nice. And you think you could tell us a little bit more about how that works specifically?
I sure can. So this is the piece of DNA right here, and we've got a little cartoon of our scientists studying it. And DNA makes up the human genome. And so most of the genome is actually the same across all humans, but there are a ton of tiny differences that make us unique. So for example, I'm 5'2", Jared's a little bit taller.
Just a little.
And that is an example of one difference between our DNA that makes us our unique selves. So when we think about it, even though there are a ton of these tiny differences, they don't usually cause big issues, except, when I can't reach something, I do get a little annoyed. I don't think Jared has that problem of not reaching things.
Not quite as often.
So sometimes these tiny changes do cause big problems. And I think Jared's got an example for us for what that tiny change might look like.
Yeah, definitely. So if you think about it, there are anywhere from 20 to 25,000 genes in the human genome in each of your cells. And it only takes one of those genes to be not working properly for you to have some of these personalized medicine diseases. And if we go even smaller, as you may know, genes are made up of DNA, which are made up of base pairs. And if we go even smaller, all it really takes is one of those base pairs to be mutated in order for your gene to not be working properly and for you to get sick, even if the rest of your gene is coded just fine. So you can kind of think of that like you're driving to school on the school bus. So the school bus has to get you from point A to point B, and for that to occur, the whole road has to be working properly. But if, say, lightning were to strike, or if the road washed out or something, zap, similarly to how you might mutate one of those base pairs in your gene, then the school bus wouldn't be able to get you from point A to point B, even if the rest of the road was working just fine. So it's the same thing with your DNA. If you have even just one base pair change to something it's not supposed to be, then the whole gene might not work, even if the rest of it is working just fine.
That sounds really tricky. So what are ways that we can fix that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So you can think of it in either of these analogies. If you think of it like with the road, you can do one of two things. You can change the broken section of the road to be working again, so you can just fix the region that was hit by lightning, and then the school bus should be able to get through it just fine and use the rest of the road and get you to school. Or you can build a new way around the section that got broken. So then the school bus can use the sections of the road that weren't broken and just go around that area that was broken, so it can get you to school on time. Similarly, with gene editing and personalized medicine, you can either change the incorrect base pair back to the correct one so you have the right sequence, or you can add the correct sequence to a different area of the gene that isn't as important to keep you healthy.
Wow, that's super helpful to know.
Yeah, and there are a lot of examples of this with a lot of different diseases. Do you think you could tell us about one of them?
Yeah, so Jared and I recently learned about a 9-year-old boy named Connor who had muscular dystrophy. And he was headed for a wheelchair, but then he got gene therapy and now he can run around and play like any other kid his age. And so muscular dystrophy is a disease where your muscles waste away, and it's caused by a mutation in one gene called dystrophin. So what these scientists did is they went in, and just like the road example that we just saw, they inserted a replacement for that broken section of road and put in a working version so that Connor's dystrophin gene worked again. And this is just one real-world example of how gene therapy might work to help people get healthy as fast as possible.
Nice. That's awesome to see a real-world example of that.
Yeah, I think so too.